Welcome, foolish mortals, to another episode of the Hitchhiking Host Show. I am your ghost host, Wes Troop, and we've got a lot to talk about this week, so let's get right into the weekly news roundup. If you are going to be attending Star Wars weekends at Hollywood Studios this coming spring, you will want to make sure you hear this announcement. The celebrities appearing at this year's Star Wars weekends have been announced. The schedule is as follows. I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown. The first weekend, which is May 15th, 16th, and 17th, Ian McDiarmid, yes, the Emperor himself, will be in the house. Amy Allen, who played Leia Secura, who was in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. I am not sure of that character. I would have to look that up. Taya Sirka, who played Sabine Wren from Star Wars Rebels. Those are the celebrities that will be at week 1. Weekend 2, May 22nd to the 24th. Warwick Davis, everybody's favorite leprechaun. He also played Wald and Wicket W. Warwick, one of the main Ewoks in Return of the Jedi. He will be the big star that weekend, as well as Silas Carson, who played Ki Mundi. I believe that is Penis Head. And Newt Gunray, who was the Viceroy in Phantom Menace. Also, that weekend will be Vanessa Marshall, who plays Hera Syndulla in Star Wars Rebels. It seems like they have a Star Wars Rebel a voice actor every week. Weekend 3, we see the return of Warwick Davis, as well as Daniel Logan, who played Boba Fett in Attack of the Clones, Little Boba Fett. And that could be like a rapper's name, Little Boba Fett. And then as well in the Clone Wars film show. And then Steve Bloom, who plays Zeb Orioles in Star Wars Rebels. Week 4, we've got Darth Maul himself. Ray Park is in the house. Probably, hopefully, for more than 5 minutes before he gets cut open. Jeremy Bulloch, the actual Boba Fett, in the house that weekend 4, June 5th to the 7th. And Ashley Eckstein, Ashiko Tano, she plays in Star Wars Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. And finally, the final week. This is going to be a big one. Frank Oz, who played Yoda, of course, in everything, will be there June 12th to the 14th, as well as Ray Park will make his return. Peter Mayhew, who played Chewbacca, and Taylor Gray, who plays Ezra Bridger on Star Wars Rebels. Those are the celebrity appearances that will be happening. No Mark Hamill this year, unfortunately. I thought maybe he'd show again because of Episode 7. No Episode 7 stars. That's kind of weird. Maybe next year. But if you're attending Star Wars weekends, make sure you take a pen and get those dates. All right. Moving on. This is news that's going to make a lot of people happy right here. Big news for Disney Cruise Lines. A new stage show titled Tangled the Musical will debut on the Disney Magic in November. Characters Rapunzel, Flynn Rider, Mother Gothel, and Maximus will all be present in the musical, as well as others, of course. The show will also feature new songs written by Alan Menken. New information will be hitting the waves soon. Get it? Hitting the waves? As well as behind-the-scenes videos exclusively on the Disney Park blog, which, of course, I will put links up when I see them. There's been a lot of outcry, and whenever you see anything to do with Frozen, I see, why isn't it Tangled? Why isn't it Tangled? They should have a Tangled show. They should have a Tangled this. They should have a Tangled that. I really love the Tangled bathrooms. They're the best bathrooms in Disney World, bar none. And I believe they should have more than just the bathrooms for Tangled. Tangled did not gross as much as Frozen, for those of you asking, every 5 seconds. Where's my Tangled, this and my Tangled that? And it's still not relevant as Frozen is, so that could be why. There's other reasons too, obviously. Myself, I like Frozen more than Tangled, but, I'm a Frozen fanboy. But I love Tangled, so we'll see. But so the Disney Cruise Line show should be interesting, though, so that's cool. Speaking of Frozen, new Frozen Fever snacks are making their way to Disney parks. You can find Anna's Happy Birthday Cupcake at certain quick service locations at Disneyland and Walt Disney World. The vanilla cupcake has icy blue buttercream frosting, marshmallows, and snowflake candies, topped with a white chocolate Olaf. Of course. You can also find Olaf's Perfect Sundae Day with birthday cake flavored ice cream, topped with hot fudge, mint marshmallows, brownie pieces, whipped cream, sprinkles at certain venues in the parks. Those sound delicious, and I might have to have one of those when I go to Disneyland next. You can also find an Olaf Premium Sipper from certain Disneyland food and beverage locations, available now. It will launch in Walt Disney World during the 24-hour party on May 22nd to the 23rd at the Magic Kingdom. So if you're looking for an Olaf Premium Sipper, you can find them. We got some other big changes coming to Disneyland. Beginning on July 17th, new musical changes come to Disneyland. There will be more musical performances found throughout your day in the park, and the Disneyland Band will have a brand new sound with newer musical arrangements, all in honor of the 60th anniversary Diamond Celebration, the Big Bash. Yes, I think that's good. Music always makes the day better, in my opinion. All right, and finally we continue and most likely end our news segment. This is called Rhino Watch. Oh, wow. It sounds like that rhino may have had a few extra helping of beans. So, the baby rhino, born at Disney's Animal Kingdom a few months ago, has been given the name Kiama after an overwhelming majority of votes. So make sure you stop and see Kiama at Disney's Animal Kingdom and tell her that I did not vote for that name. I voted for Jama. I will call her Jama when I see her, because it is the name that I voted for. She will always be that. But in all seriousness, Kiama, that's a cool name too. Make sure you look for her at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Yeah, some definitely interesting stuff going down in the parks this past week. But now we're going to focus on our main topic. I've wanted to talk about this ride since it closed. This ride closed a few months ago. It was a Disney California Adventure exclusive. This version of the ride, anyway. It was from Cars Land. Yes, it only opened in 2012, and their first closure. So I luckily had the chance to ride this ride once, because that's all I felt it was worth for me. But I know there's probably some fans out there of this ride, so this is the little tribute for it. Here, we're going to talk about Luigi's Flying Tires.
lovely things. Step over my tire and go.
When Imagineers were throwing around ideas for the new Cars Land section at Disney's California Adventure Park, they looked into the past with the fan favorite Flying Saucers attraction. The Flying Saucers were a bumper car-like ride which saw guests sit on the saucer-like vehicles on a cushion of air and saw them move and could bump each other. The air underneath the saucers would move the riders around the ride area, and the guests themselves could lean in the direction they wanted to go in, and the vehicle would move in that direction. The Flying Saucers attraction opened in Disneyland's Tomorrowland on August 6, 1961, and closed on August 5, 1966. Over the years, fans of the ride wanted to see a version of the Flying Saucers make a comeback in some capacity. It was announced in 2007 an attraction named Luigi's Roman Tires, Roman as in R-O-A-M-I-N, as in Roman gods or anything, would be part of the upcoming Cars Land project. One big change, however, instead of the saucers, the vehicles would be shaped as big truck tires the guests would ride in. Imagineers decided to change the name of the ride to Luigi's Flying Tires, and actually wanted guests to fly. The ride engineers tried to design it away for this idea, but proved to be too difficult. They also came up with a backstory. Luigi's uncle Topolani ordered some Cosino Diari tires in the 1930s, and they floated upon arrival. In honor of this miracle, a festival was held. You know I love my Italian fans out there. Chiara, what's up, girl? When he made his way to Radiator Springs, he kept the festival going. Luigi then ordered the same brand of tires like his uncle before him. When they arrived, they danced as well. Dancing Italia! Now Radiator Springs repeats the festival every year, complete with festival decorations. The queue took guests into Luigi's Casa del Tire shop, where you could see fancy displays of tires and posters the characters had collected. The shop led into the Italian garden, which was filled with red and white flowers, as well as Mediterranean cypress and eucalyptus trees. One of the centerpieces of the garden was a Francesco race car topiary. Which brings me back, speaking of bad Italian accents, brings me back to that vitamins commercial with that guy. I got the Francesco! As you got closer to the front of the line, riders entered the loading corral, where a cast member would explain how to operate your tire by moving in the direction you'd like to go. There were 21 tire vehicles that could seat up to 3 riders at a time. If we're going to get specific about it, 2 adults and 1 kid, or 1 adult and 2 kids, or 1 or 2 adults. There you go. Once strapped in, Luigi gave a countdown as air began to pump through the floor's air vents. The tire then lifted 2 inches off the ground or so. Guests could then move the tire in whatever direction they'd like and bump it into other tires if they so desired. The ride would last about 2 minutes. Luigi's Flying Tires had its soft opening in spring of 2012, along with the rest of Cars Land, and had its official opening on June 15, 2012. When the ride first started operating, it featured giant beach balls guests could toss around to give the attraction a more festive look. Only after 2 months, the beach balls had been removed due to longer wait times and a few minor incidents. We're going to go PG-13 here a little bit because this is just too good. Like guests getting hit in the face with balls. I know a few guests that got that from me, but that's another story. Luigi's Flying Tires closed up shop on February 17, 2015. A new ride system and ride vehicles have been announced for the attraction when it tentatively reopens in early 2016. So possibly next year, in the beginning of the year, we could see a revamped version of the Flying Tires ride. I think that's probably a good call. I went on Luigi's Flying Tires once, as I had said before. I was at the rider board that gave you the times at Carthy Circle there, and I saw it said 20 minutes, and I sprinted because I'm like, oh my god, that's great. Anything less than, yeah, that would have been the only way I would have ridden that ride if it was under 20 minutes, from what I had heard. But I did get on, and I'm glad I did because I got to experience the attraction. And I really loved the queue. The queue was very gorgeous, as you saw in the video. And the garden was gorgeous. It's just the ride I sat in, and you move forward, you move back, and that's the way it goes. And It was okay. It wasn't anything I had to ride twice. That vacation, I would probably, if it was under 20, I'd do it. I would have done it again on my next vacation had it still been opened. But this was a ride you really didn't need to do more than once a vacation, if at all. Really, I'm glad I checked it out. The beach balls sounded a lot more fun because then you're just sort of, it's just basically bumper cars. It's a neat idea and it was cool to see once, but it was sort of like a lackluster once you sat in there and just sort of went around in a circle and hey, it's just, I'm not a huge fan of bumper cars to begin with. So this was at least different, somewhat experience. But like I said, the queue was impressive. It's hard to believe Cars Land opened not even 3 years ago, and one of the rides is already done. So evidently I wasn't the only one that thought Luigi's Flying Tires was so-so. Hopefully whatever they come up with for the next experience in that space, whether it be another variation of Flying Tires, which I believe it is, I'm not sure how they're going to do it, will be better well received by the guests and the makers themselves. I don't know if they were very thrilled with this, how it turned out, but I love the rest of Cars Land. This was my least favorite. Radiator Springs Racers is probably in my top 5 rides of all time. At least top 10. Maybe not top 5, but at least top 10. And I am not a Cars fan, a fan of the movie Cars by any means. I think it's one of Pixar's least greatest films. But I really enjoyed Cars Land. I am a humongous fan of that. And I even liked Mater's Junkyard Jamboree, because it's like a tilt-a-whirl on steroids, basically. It's a lot wilder than I expected it to be. So this one, Luigi's Flying Tires, was kind of like, eh. But I'd go on if someone wanted to. But hopefully when it reopens in 2016, it will be a more thrilling experience. All right, well, that's all the time for this show. Don't forget to subscribe right here on YouTube, youtube.com/HitchHostShow. You got the Ride Day Friday. Every week I'm going to have a new attraction posted, whether it be Disney World or Disneyland. We just did the queue for Toy Story Mania this past week, so make sure you check that out from Disney California Adventure. And of course, you can like the Facebook page, facebook.com/HitchHostShow. Follow the Twitter @HitchHostShow. And of course, the Instagram @HitchHostShow. And I put up a Disney picture of the day on there as well. So make sure you follow us on all those links. Until next time, don't forget to...
Hurry back.
For the next episode. See ya.